Hey guys, welcome back to some more reviews. And today talking about a film that is a film that, I've heard mixed opinions on it. Some people hate this film, some people love this film, some people think this one's okay. That's 13 Ghosts. This is the 2001 remake, I believe. I do believe it's got a original film from a long time ago, I think. And from what I've heard, this isn't too much like the original. So, compared to the original, people say it's not as good as the original. But this is a film that I can say that I grew up with a lot. This is a film that when I was a kid, I used to put this in and watch for the fun of it. Never really scared me though, but it was more of one of those fun horror films that you watch as a kid just because you enjoy watching, well, at least I did. I enjoyed watching horror films, so pop this movie in and I'd watch it and I really enjoy it. I still really enjoy it. And it's a film that I'm not really sure why everybody hates, why everybody says crap. It's a 5.5 on IMDb, so obviously a lot of people like it. 5.5, it's not like a 4.0 or something like that, but, still kind of a low rating, so, obviously some people don't like it. Came out in 2000, like I said, 2001. Written by Steve Beck, who has done, I believe he's done another movie called, what was it, Ghost Ship? Yeah, he did Ghost Ship, and that's it. And I didn't really enjoy Ghost Ship that much from what I've seen. It's kind of boring, but this film, I think, is actually really well done. And this is made by a company called, it's really hard to see it, but I believe it's like Dark Castle. I think Dark Castle. Now they've made a couple films that some bombed, some weren't that good, some of them were. This is probably one of their best films. I believe they were also involved with Van Helsing from 2004. I believe they were involved with that film. But let me skip a little bit because I'm like way back here. But I do believe they were involved with Van Helsing. They've been involved in a lot of films, and not really sure if they went bankrupt or what happened, but I don't really see this film company that much anymore. But most of the people's problems with this film is that it's not as, it's not like the original film. It's a much different film. It takes place instead of taking place in an actual haunted house, it takes place in more of like a haunted house made out of glass, and there's like spells on the freaking the glass and everything like that. And I guess that everybody hates that idea with the whole spells and stuff like that. And of course, I do believe that in this version you also do have the inclusion of the ghost glasses or whatever they call them, where you can basically see ghosts through the glasses. I believe that's like a lot different than the original, but definitely a cool idea. And this is just one of those films that I grew up with a lot, and I watched a lot, and I really enjoy it. And basically the story is about, at the beginning of the film, you got this guy named Cyrus Kritikos, played by, what's his name? F. Murray Abraham, who, honestly, as the bad guy, I didn't really care for his character. Sort of delivered an over-top performance. I don't know, just the lines that he delivered weren't really that good. I was more of a fan of Tony Shalhoub playing Arthur Kritikos. Pretty much, I believe it was like cousin or something like that. I was more of a fan of his character and the daughter and the son. They did a good job acting-wise. The girl who played the maid didn't really do the best job. I'm trying to see who it was. It was Rod Digga playing maid, the maid character. She didn't really do that good of a job. I guess she was in Dr. Dolittle 2, Blade 2, and Scary Movie. And her as this maid, I don't think she did a good job at all. Her acting was way too over the top. And yeah, just, I don't know, really, really bad acting from her character. Just delivering these over the top lines, stuff like that. And basically, what this movie is about is you've got Tony Shalhoub's character. His wife ends up dying in a fire. but him and his kids are okay. He's going through some financial troubles, struggling to support his family, and he gets a note about his uncle Cyrus Criticos passing away, and basically finds out that he inherits a lot of treasures and stuff like that, including a glass house with spells in the walls. And you find out what those spells mean later on in the film. And you've also got from Scream, you've got he was also in Hackers. Try to get his name on here, but I think it's one of those films that I'm not sure if it's like an alphabetical order, but I can't remember. Matthew Lillard, which I just kind of scrolled over his name, but you got Matthew Lillard playing a good psychic in the film. He has visions about people and about the future and what's going to happen, and if he touches something, he sees visions, stuff like that. And Matthew Lillard's been in a lot of films. He's been in SLC, Punk, 13. Well, it's this film, but it's on his known for list. He's been in She's All That, Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo 2, which, honestly, Scooby-Doo 1, I know people are going to be laughing at me for saying this, but it wasn't as bad as people say. Still bad, but I don't think it's completely awful. It's enough to get a rant, but not like a mega ultra freaking rant. I mean, the first Scooby-Doo film, it is bad. The live-action film, it's bad. The second film's even worse, but the first film is still bad. But it's not as bad as people say it is. I think it's like a little bit entertaining, a little bit. Not as bad as people say it is, but still, it is ultimately a bad film with some terrible acting. Except for Matthew Lillard's performance in that film as Shaggy. He did actually a good job as Shaggy. Which people could say all they want about those films. The Cartoon Network live action films, oh my god. I seen the first film and the second film that they made, and I was done. Shaggy looks like a freaking stoner. Scooby-Doo looks so fake. Scooby-Doo literally looks like a freaking one of the fakest CGI dogs in film. Even the CGI in the original Scooby-Doo films, like 1 and 2, weren't as bad as they were in the live-action movie like Cartoon Network. And the guy who played Freddy did terrible. Daphne and Velma were terrible. It was just a freaking terrible live-action direct-to-DVD video crap. So if you guys think that Scooby-Doo 1 and 2 were terrible, watch the freaking live-action movies by Cartoon Network. Those are freaking even worse. But anyways, on the subject of Scooby-Doo, let's get back to this film. Matthew Lillard playing a psychic did a good job. And at the beginning of the film, they're going to trap this 13th ghost, or this like the 12th ghost. And stuff starts happening. Somebody ends up getting really, people end up getting killed. And, that's when you find that, Cyrus gets killed by, Cyrus Criticos got killed by the 12th ghost. And, or I believe it was either that or the 12th, either he was the 12th ghost or the 13th ghost, but I think it was the 12th ghost. And that's when Tony Shalhoub finds about his uncle dying. He goes to the house of his family, and Matthew Lillard's going to go in there and try to figure out what's going on. At the same time, you got this girl named Kalina in there. She's pretty much helping Cyrus. And the house goes on lockdown mode, and these glass walls sort of close off all the exits, and all these ghosts are let loose. And I'm really a big fan of this poster. Really, really cool where, sort of far away, it looks like a face, and then you zoom in, there's like a lot of pictures. You can probably see a few things in there. And, of course, Misery Loves Company. Great, tagline. See, like, right there. See a couple of the ghosts in there. Oh, well, wrong way, but, right there. Really, really cool poster. Always thought that was a neat poster. And I hate these DVDs, these cardboard DVDs. I can't stand these DVDs. They're so annoying because look at this. Look how badly worn this is on the side of it, or on this side mainly. But you can see where the paint's coming off, and then a lot of dents and scratches on the back of it and stuff like that. You guys can't really see it that good on video, picking it up on video, but It just got a lot of scratches all over it and stuff like that. I hate these cardboard DVDs. But it does have quite a few features. It has a commentary, documentary, profiles, interactive menu, and the actual trailer, cast, film highlights. So not a lot of features, but still a decent amount. And basically, this house goes on lockdown, and these ghosts get released. You got stuff like the jackal, a ghost with like a cage over his face, and he has claws and stuff like that. There's one called the Princess, I believe, or is it like the Fallen Princess or something like that? And really, really hot chick, which if you guys can see right here, see her a little bit. Really, really hot chick in the film. You see her naked, and yeah, she is cut up and stuff like that, but she's still freaking hot. She got big old boobs. Trying to keep that sort of professional in my reviews, but gotta say that. It's the Angry Princess, played by Shauna Lawyer. And I gotta say, it's the 13 ghosts in this film, the 12 ghosts at least, did a good job. I mean, everybody played their part really well done. The bound woman, the withered lover, the torn prince, the pilgrimess, the great child, the dire mother, the hammer, the jackal, juggernaut, the firstborn son, the gambler, which was the torso, but really didn't do that much. But they all played a decent part in the film. Some of them got more of a highlight than others. Like the torso was mentioned like one scene. The bound woman doesn't really do that much. The withered lover, and just like. And also the pilgrimess, they don't really do that much. Some of the ghosts get more to do than others, but still they all did a good job playing the ghosts. And cool ideas like the bound woman being bound to the stain, the jackal, the hammer having these big nails in his head and a hammer on his arm. Creepy idea of the torso, but they didn't really do much with it. This torso that's crawling around and stuff like that. A lot of cool ideas for the ghosts, and they find out that there's this girl in there. Well, but first of all, they find out these glasses, and they put them on, and they can actually see ghosts through these glasses. But when they take them off, you don't see them. And it's really, really a neat idea, really, really cool idea. I'm not sure if it did that in the original film, but it's a cool idea nonetheless, and it's an idea that really makes this a separate ghost film from other films. Even though the original might have done that, but if this was the first one to do that, this remake, then it sort of separates this film from other ghost films out there. Doesn't make it a typical ghost film, makes it fun. And it's rated R, it's very gory. There's a scene where a guy playing pretty much the guy's going to sell them the house. He gets like a piece of glass, goes like boom, and cuts this guy in half. And it's all practical. And, his front part slides off, and you see the back part of his brain and stuff like that. Practical effects. So it's always fun to have some practical effects in there. And, Matthew Lillard gets, like, broken in half with the juggernaut. Tony Shalhoub gets, like, his back scratched by the jackal. His back is all messed up because it gets caught by the jackal in the back. And basically you find out that this girl, Kalina, was working with Cyrus, because he's not really dead. I guess he faked his death to find the 13th ghost, which is actually Tony Shalhoub. And once it gets the 13 ghosts, you're going to complete this ritual, and it needs all 13 ghosts, and Tony Shalhoub is the 13th ghost. Or he will be if, Cyrus kills him. And ends up stopping Cyrus, pushes him in this thing, and he gets cut into pieces. And the one thing I would say, though, is that most of the film is practical. But there is a lot of CGI enhancements, like CGI walls sometimes. The device itself, looks like CGI. It's really bad. But I love the ideas of there being these glass walls and a glass house. Really, really well done. It's a practical house. It's real. And it looks good. Like there's spells all over the walls. I just like that idea because it added something new to the film. And it's shot very, very well. I don't know about this film, but it has a good look to it. I've always looked at it. It has a really good look to it. You know, the way that it's lit, camera angles. It's shot very, very well. Has a good look to it. Dark Castle really is a more of a visual company. Like, you know, you watch Van Helsing, you watch, I believe Ghost Ship was also another one of their films. I hated Ghost Ship, but at least it was shot decently. They have decent camera work to their films usually. They're more of a visual company. That's cool because it adds, you know, some of their films. And just a film that's very fun. Of course, Tony Shalhoub is kids survive, he survives, and the ghosts are set free, and you know, even Matthew Lillard's, you know, set free, and his spirit's set free, and you know, Tony Shalhoub and his family lives, and that's the end of the film. So it's a very, very great, very, very solid, very, very straightforward, well-made film in my opinion, and it's very, very fun to watch. Definitely, you know, a very, very fun, entertaining film to watch, and I just get so much nostalgia watching this film. It's just crazy. Like, I watched it a lot as a kid, so watching it again, there's a lot of nostalgia behind it, and just it's shot well. It's rated R, so you got some practical gore effects, stuff like that. I like the idea of it being in a glass house with spells on the wall. I like the idea of the ghost glasses. I like the idea of, you know, 13 ghosts, and they all have different personalities and different, you know, all different characters. And Tony Shalhoub did a good job in the film. His daughter, his son did a good job. I didn't care for the maid. I didn't care for the lead character, Cyrus. Didn't really act that good in my opinion. But yeah, so 13 Ghosts, very well made. So guys, thanks for watching my review on 13 Ghosts, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye guys.